I'm starting to get annoyed, alright? Because they keep changing this stuff. It's literally not hurting 2K in any way, form, or fashion, but I got another rep method video for you guys, and it's getting bad. It's making it really hard to grind anymore, but I'm going to show you guys where I'm at and what I'm doing for mine to get what I got. So you want to go ahead and start at settings. Want to go ahead do Hall of Fame 12-minute quarters. You can do 5 minutes, but it's just like before. It's 12-minute quarters, and then you're gonna try to get out at halftime. If not, then you can just foul out. But since you're limited so much, it's better to get out by halftime, so that way you don't go past it and then you waste time trying to trying to get more, and you can't. You don't get as much, or you don't get any more once you hit a certain point. That there's that cap. Also, check your minutes, and this is what I have now. And the reason you want to have it like this is, you can try to put yourself at point guard and put a bunch of other people here, but this is without this method for me is without on-court coach. So once I get that, I'm gonna make a whole different method, but this is for without on-court coach. So you want to set it up like this, so they do not sub you out for those first 2 quarters. All right, they don't sub you out at all unless you get 2 fouls, and then they'll try to do some arrangements with some of these guys. But just have it this way, all right? So you don't get subbed out. You play the whole thing, and I get about 60 some 70 points, maybe 50, and when I score, that's around how much I average. But as far as the actual my points I get, it's probably about, I'd have to say at least 40, like 40k to 56 or 60k. Like, it's kind of a big window now, so they done screwed the game over. It's really stupid, but like I said, I'm gonna grind the rest of the way to 93. I'm about to be 93. I don't know if I want to go any further after 94 or 95. It's just, I don't even know if I want those mascots. I mean, anyways, no use crying over spilt milk. So now I realize you want to do your layups as well. All right, now the premise is still the same, to get takeover as quick as you can. So you still have to do those lobs to get takeover. You want to do like 6 or so lobs in the beginning. But once you get takeover, you have to call for a pick and then do a pick and roll. And while you're driving, you do a floater. Even if it's in someone's face, do a floater. But that's if you are slashing primary. If you're not slashing primary, you want to do pick and pop. All right. So you want to try to do that, and then maybe do a fade or something like that, but just shoot after the pick. But other than that, it's literally the same premise, except you want to try to get posterizers as much as you can. So some teams, they'll close out on you all the time when you go to them on the when you do the alley-oops, but some of them just won't, and they just won't care. So you really have to make sure that you put a lot of work into doing those alley-oops. They don't count at all. So take alley-oop finishes off the equation. You're not gonna get that much for it. So whenever you just do that to get takeover, and then that's when you start doing acrobatic layups off the pick and roll, teardroppers after the pick and roll. You have to do stuff like that because you're not getting any points for alley-oop finishes anymore. So just keep that in mind. Try to have someone trail you. Make sure you do have the elite alley-oops on, because a lot of the times when I'm cutting coming from the right side of the corners from baseline, he'll do a reverse dunk, and that gets me posterizers most of the time. And that's what you want to do. He'll do like a reverse dunk, and then they'll get close into the paint. Usually they have to be in the restricted area, and you'll get posterizer. That's where the bulk of the points are. But if it's not from that, it's from the pick and roll, and using the pick and roll with teardropper or acrobatic layups. You have to do stuff like that, because you can't just go to the hole. And yeah, you might get some contact dunks, but you really want to maximize how much you get each game. in each possession. All right, so you want to make sure that, oh, okay, I could definitely do this. I'll definitely make this if I do this one. See, I get lucky right there for the posterizer because he happened to be cutting under and trying to, you know, go after me. But simply put, you really don't want to do too many of those if you don't have to. All right, if you feel like you can get posterizers for it, then go ahead. But see, I don't get too many floaters right there. You don't want to do a million or so floaters, so just keep that in mind. You don't want to do way too many because it doesn't amount to as much as it would for other stuff. You see, pick and pop, just one pick and pop's almost 1,000 points, and pick and roll finishes, I did 7. I got 5,500, so I got 50,000 within 24 minutes. All right, so like I said, it's getting worse than it was before because I would have had at least 58,000, 55,000 if they counted all the alley-oops. I know I did at least 12, probably 13 or so alley-oops that last game, and then they gave me 3 because they take them away from you now if you miss the alley-oop. So just keep that in mind. They do not give you the alley-oop at all if they take it away. So we'll talk about that later anyways. But it's the same deal here. This is just a bit of a better game. It's just these guys, they close out more coming off of the thing, because I always call for a screen, and then I'll go around Capella, and then I'll ask for alley, and that's typically how I do it every time, because you know there's someone trying to trail you at that point all the time. And you know, same premise here. Even if you're in someone's face, if you're a slasher, now if you're something else, I don't know, but if you're a primary slasher, even if you're in someone's face, when you come off of that pick, you can just do a teardrop. All right, it doesn't specifically has to be just a wide open runner. It can just be a teardrop from whatever. And some of these are counting for pick and pop, because I only did these when I came off of pick and roll. So some of these are counting for pick and pop, which is really good because you get so much for pick and pop, and you'll see that in the video. I get team takeover again, do the same thing, just keep going down. I mean, you can do teardroppers a lot. It's just you eventually want to switch it up, because if you can, you just get more after a while from doing acrobatic layups, because it's multiplying instead of dividing by the certain amount that you made versus what you missed. You still get a lot from it. You get almost like, if you made like 10, you get almost 6,000 from it. But in the end, it's, you know, you'll see right here, I make a lot of the teardrops in this game, and it's good and bad. So you see I played 24 minutes, I got 38 shots up, I made 35. Okay, so this is a really good game. This is the more optimal outcome of the game that you want to happen. So try to keep in mind which teams they are that give you these games like this. You know, some of them just don't close out. But see right there, I did 15, I got 7,000 pretty much right there. So that's not bad. It's not, you know, amazing for how many shots I took, but it's not bad. Also, you get you get a decent amount for good screens, stuff like that. It's just the little stuff that adds up. Of course, I got 15 posterizers, so that was really good. And then you can see right there, I got 4 for 4 for pick and roll, pick and pop finishes, and 7 out of 9 for pick and roll finishes. So just keep that in mind. I was 8K right there, and I get 61K altogether, because you know, you win, teammate grade, all that stuff is really, really big. So you really don't want to be screwing up while you're playing. All right, so keep that in mind. That's just 24 minutes. I got like 110K within 48 minutes instead of a full hour. Keep in mind that I did, you know, if you noticed it, I did not get any alley-oop finishes on that last one, but I did plenty of them. So 2K is now making it harder to grind for the actual badge. Now so if you are trying to grind a slasher, good luck, because if you miss a lob to taking it away, you're not getting the points for it at all. At least with other stuff, when you miss, you still get a certain amount, you know, whether it still multiplies it by the ones you made, or it takes it away from the ones that you miss versus the ones you made. Now it's just getting rid of it now, that's worse. All right, so I don't know what they're gonna do about that, but that's much worse than just having it they're having it come off of your stuff like it's your fault. Like sometimes Chris Paul will just throw me a lob out of nowhere, and it's supposed to be my fault, man. 2K is making it really hard to actually want to grind this year, but it's been your boy JR03, aka Young Astro. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. I don't know if I can keep grinding, man. Oh.